So today we've uploaded a new version 6.10. We've added a new plugin, autopilot, and it's a new build. There isn't a reload bit in changing profiles, and the startup loading it's not long anymore. Doesn't take 10 years to start up. And what else is there? On the install, the first load will be a bit longer because it's installing the assets and everything. But after that, your startup load is quick, and that should be the only load that you get. There's no more, like I said, no more loading between profiles. So in this video, I would like to cover some basics on autopilot. I'm assuming that you most probably want to get started on training your own model. If you want to see what changes we've made, you can check out our history and just go through all these if you want to. Okay, let's start our training. I would say let's take a few ambient shots. Let's take 3 and train our model. I think to get the most out of the images, there's raw files. So, is this a raw file? Yeah. So we'll just use auto and see what we get. Unless, yeah, I think auto is fine, except for this one. This one's better without auto on. But let's try and keep it simple. Let's just set it to auto. Okay, so let's create our model. So if you click autopilot trainer, then you need to browse and select a folder to save your model. Click the notification. By default, it's not going to use the model. It's using basic presets, a more guided AI based on your settings in the tuning. Yeah. So that's your defaults. But let's just change this to use your model. So you need to choose your model, and also you need to set your presets to AI. I've separated these processes so that you can mix it up and experiment, see what works best for you. So we also need to make sure that these 3 sliders are on 100 so that it's copying you on full throttle basically. If these are not on its fullest, it's only going to copy what you're doing up until the amount that you set it to, the strength. So we'll leave that on full. We can always adjust it afterwards. So to train your model, we're going to run the autopilot trainer now. And how it works is it looks at your image and it looks what did you do to the image. That's how it learns. Okay, so on this one we're just going to do something like this. I think that's fine for now. Okay, so we've trained it on this image now, and let's just open that model, and here you can see that we have one image there. Let's run autopilot and test it on this image. So that is what it's doing on this image. It only knows how to do one thing, and that is what you trained it on. The training that you gave it, it's 1 row, so that's all it knows how to do. So you need to give it different scenarios basically. but don't give it confusing information. For example, the image before this was somewhat similar to this, but if I'm going to do something completely opposite of what I did before, it's going to kind of be confusing. So if I'm going to do this, then it's not going to be consistent, my training that I give it. So if you do mess up, basically, then you can go and just select that row. If you know which row it is, then just backspace and then save. So where was I? Training. Okay, so I'm going to do something similar to this image. Okay, let me undo, and let's see what it does. What is it going to do in here? Okay, let's train it on this one now. Okay. So it knows what to do on that. Let's open that one, that one, that one. Let's just see what it does with a bit of training that it knows. Auto, auto. Okay, not bad. So, but let's train it on these new scenarios, basically. Choose eyedropper. Okay. It's important to know that for now, the training, you can only train your model on these sliders here. At a later stage, we're going to add it into some other sliders, and also possibly out of camera raw. So for now, it's your personal camera raw assistant, basically. Let's close that, delete. Let's see what it does. Okay. Okay, so it's got new information to work with, so that's why it's giving a different result now. But if you want to be more accurate, then just train it again on this one. Okay, now let's see what it's going to do when it's ran through the auto process. So by default it would be these ticked on: autopilot, equalize, and split frequency, and color neutralize. So let's see what it does now. So all of these are customizable, and you can set it to and save new defaults for it, so when it runs on the first go, it does exactly what you set it to. Okay, so let's try flash ambient. Let's take these two. Just auto. Or let's take it as shot. Looks cleaner. Okay, so autopilot. That's not so nice. Well, we're gonna blend this, so not really much to do. Yeah, that's better. This one, okay. It's a bit cold, but anyway. Stack them. Our ambient is at the top. Go to export blend and we click flash ambient. Okay, so that's our blend. I would say on your ambient luminosity mask, double click on the mask and then you'll get the properties. But if you get select and mask, then just go to your window and then open properties, so that you can get this when you click on the mask. And then start with density 0 and move up until you're happy with the blend. Don't worry about the window, look at the blend of the image. I actually like to leave it completely off, and then I'll just click on the darken layer and bring in some window detail. Okay, let's see 100. Just to 100. But if you want, then just blend some in there. Okay, nowhere else to blend in some of this darken layer, so then we can flatten. let's try autopilot on this. Okay, it's not bad. It's cold though. Let's cancel that. Let's train it. Now I don't know if I'm messing it up, the training basically, by training it on this now, because this looks similar to the other image. I don't think I am. But basically it should look at the image, and then let's see, flash ambient, layer mask, brushing, snap pattern. Okay, let's just try auto process and see what it gives us. Okay, that's auto process. But yeah, that is basically how you train your model and use your model, and how you also use it in also auto process. I'll make another video. I'm gonna have to make lots of videos now to keep up to date here, because a lot has changed. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this new feature. There's a lot of power in it. You just need to just mess around with it and get your settings sorted out. Cheers guys.